Personality development is a complex and dynamic process shaped by an interplay of biological, psychological, and social factors. Within the field of psychology, one of the most influential yet nuanced determinants of personality is culture. Culture provides the shared systems of meaning, values, norms, and practices through which individuals interpret the world and their place within it. It influences how people express emotions, construct their identities, define success, and engage in social relationships. Understanding the cultural context is therefore essential for a comprehensive and accurate view of personality development. Defining culture and personality: culture refers to the learned, socially transmitted knowledge and behavior shared by a group of people and passed down through generations. It encompasses language, customs, values, beliefs, and symbols that guide behavior and thought. Personality, in psychological terms, is typically understood as a relatively stable pattern of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that characterize an individual across time and situations. Traditional models, such as the five-factor model, FFM, describe personality in terms of traits like extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, neuroticism, and openness to experience. However, when examined across cultural settings, these traits may manifest differently or carry different meanings. Cultural dimensions in personality development: the work of cross-cultural psychologists such as Gerrit Hofstede, Harry Trine Dees, and Shalom Schwartz has provided frameworks for understanding how cultural values shape personality. Among the most studied cultural dimensions are: 1. Individualism versus collectivism. One of the most influential dimensions, this dichotomy describes the degree to which cultures emphasize personal autonomy, individualism, versus group harmony and interdependence, collectivism. In individualistic cultures, the United States, Canada, Western Europe, personality development often centers around self-expression, independence, and personal achievement. Traits like assertiveness and self-confidence are highly valued. In collectivist culture, East Asia, the Middle East, Africa, personality is shaped by social roles, family obligations, and group cohesion. Traits such as humility, cooperation, and empathy are emphasized. 2. Power distance cultures. With high power distance, many Asian and Latin American countries tend to promote respect for authority and hierarchical relationships, which may influence the development of traits like obedience or conformity. In contrast, low-power distance cultures, Scandinavian countries, encourage egalitarianism and individual initiative. 3. Uncertainty avoidance cultures that are uncomfortable with ambiguity, high uncertainty avoidance, may foster traits like risk aversion and preference for order and structure. Conversely, low uncertainty avoidance cultures may support flexibility, openness to change, and innovation. Mechanisms of cultural influence. Culture influences personality development through multiple interrelated mechanisms. 1. Socialization practices. From early childhood, individuals are socialized through family, education, religion, and peer groups. Cultural norms dictate parenting styles, emotional expression, discipline, and expectations for behavior. For example, authoritarian parenting may be more normative and accepted in collectivist cultures, potentially shaping personalities that value obedience and interdependence. 2. Language and thought. Language is a core medium through which culture is transmitted. It not only reflects but also shapes cognition, perception, and emotional experience. The Sapir-Whorf hypothesis suggests that the structure of a language can influence how speakers conceptualize the world, including aspects of their personality. 3. Cultural narratives and identity. Cultural myths, stories, and historical narratives help individuals construct personal and social identities. In cultures with strong communal narratives, individuals may see their life stories as intertwined with family and community. In contrast, in cultures emphasizing individual agency, life stories often reflect personal choices and achievements. 4. Norms of emotional expressive cultures differ in emotional expressiveness, which influences personality traits such as extroversion or emotional restraint. For example, in some East Asian cultures, emotional moderation is a sign of maturity and self-control, while in Western cultures, open emotional expression is often seen as authentic and healthy. Cross-cultural research on personality, empirical studies, and cross-cultural psychology have revealed both universal and culture-specific aspects of personality. The five-factor model has demonstrated some cross-cultural validity, but research has also identified culturally unique traits. For instance, in China, researchers have proposed an additional factor, interpersonal relatedness, reflecting social harmony, face-saving, and relational obligations. Furthermore, indigenous psychology approaches emphasize the need to develop theories grounded in local cultural contexts rather than applying Western-based models globally. This has led to a richer understanding of personality development in non-Western societies. Implications for psychological practice. Recognizing the role of culture in personality development has profound implications for psychological theory, research, and clinical practice. Culturally competent assessment, standardized personality tests may not be valid across cultures. Culturally sensitive tools and interpretation are necessary to avoid misdiagnosis or misunderstanding. Therapeutic approaches. Therapists must consider cultural values, communication styles, and family structures when working with clients from diverse backgrounds. Global mental health. Public health initiatives and interventions must be adapted to reflect cultural conceptions of well-being, selfhood, and mental illness. Culture is not a peripheral variable but a foundational influence on how personality is formed, expressed, and understood. Through socialization, language, norms, and values, culture shapes the psychological architecture of individuals in profound and enduring ways. As psychology becomes increasingly global in scope, embracing cultural diversity is essential for advancing theories of personality that are both scientifically valid and socially inclusive. Understanding the cultural dimensions of personality development not only enhances psychological knowledge but also promotes empathy, respect, and effectiveness in multicultural interactions.